it's our favorite time of the week where we go to our favorite Pier 1 imports, buy some tasteful lawn chairs, and throw them at some games. This week we're throwing
It
lawn
sounds
chairs.
like madness.
It is madness. It's the L.G.C. review section. And this week we are reviewing Salvation Prophecy, a game we've covered once or twice before on this very show. Made by one guy who took some time off work, put himself quite a bit of money in debt to make this game. You can find this at salvationprophecy.com. The developer is Firedance Games, that one guy. It's coded using Ogre 3D. It's $20, no demo. And before we get into the reviews, we have to explain the review system. This horrifically convoluted nonsense that we do every week. So, we got everything rated on a metric of 4 chairs. Chair number 1 means no, stay away, keep away, I don't want anything to do with you. 2 chairs is not quite as bad as 1 chair. It's passable. 3 chairs is pretty good. 4 chairs is, why hasn't anything happened? I'm throwing money at the screen. Why? Oh God, please cover me in it with its chocolatey, saucy goodness. So,
How about categories?
yes, we do have some categories. I was getting to that.
Oh, I'm
So,
sorry. Princess.
Now, we throw these chairs at these 4 categories. We got 4 of them mixed with the working. Doesn't work, doesn't run. Any troubles doing that? Shiny and sound. So how does it look? How does it sound? Is it pretty? Does it sound pretty? Or is it smirky gray crap? We got a controls section that we discuss how well the game controls, how well it handles. And we got our final subjective category, fun. And that's pretty self-explanatory. Now, keep in mind, we are 3 radically different people, as you can see from our clashing personalities in earlier segments. We're on 3 different sets of hardware of varying configurations, and we're on 2 different operating systems. We got an Ubuntu user, we got a Mint user, which is basically Ubuntu, and we got me, one of those Fedora using hipsters. But anyways, time to launch some chairs at this game.
Indeed it is, and I do remember using Fedora when it was underground. Fun days on that, as you said, Salvation Prophecy. It is now available from Desura. Kind of the only place you can get it, but they do have a green light.
They do.
But what is the game about, man? I mean...
Well, you have 4 or 5 races.
Giggity.
That you pick a side, you go on missions. Basically, if you ever played Star Wars Battlefront, it's like that.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
I've never played that.
It's one of those military epics in which your character, get launched into these massive conflicts against enemy faction du jour. And, well, it's all according to a certain prophecy, as the game's title might suggest. But, yeah, like Jordan said, it's basically Star Wars Battlefront native on Linux.
With crab-walking robots. MC Hammer time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's get started with these chairs and that. First bit of chairs comes up with... Makes with the working. Now, something I'll give this game, unlike most Desura games, it ran. Unlike Steam, you just expect a Steam game to run. Desura's dodgy. And that's being very polite, because I have a ton of games in my library that... no.
Not
I'm looking
today.
at you, Frozen Synapse and Frozen Byte community. A lot of that stuff doesn't work anymore. But this one did. No issues on Ubuntu 12 or LTS 32-bit NVIDIA graphics latest beta drivers. So I got to give you 4 chairs, Mass Effect.
Yeah, I had to hunt down some 32-bit libraries because I'm on Fedora 64-bit.
Did you offer them candy?
Did I want some candy? Well, yes, I want some goddamn candy. Give me some goddamn candy.
Right.
But going
man
back
wants
to this
candy.
little review section, yeah, once you get the dependency sorted out, the game runs without a hitch. So minor hiccup might be off-putting to someone who does not know how to resolve dependency issues. I'll give it 3 chairs.
3 chairs?
3 chairs.
So
There we go.
What's the knock? Just
What's the
because
knot? Didn't
you
run
need-
out of the box.
out of the box.
Okay, just to screw with the metric this time, mine didn't run out of the box either, but it's not the game's fault. It wasn't the game's fault. Once again, AMD cocked up their graphics drivers. I was running the 13.6 FGLRX drivers, and guess what? Nope. The game just sec faulted. At first I thought, okay, maybe it's just a problem with the game. Let's see if I can download it from somewhere else. And oh no, I can't. Okay. Okay. What do I do now? I Googled, I found nothing. I eventually gave up, and I actually started another game that also runs on the Ogre 3D engine, and it did the exact same thing. As soon as the window showed up, it sec faulted.
But
So
that's
I'm like,
interesting.
okay.
That's interesting because I'm on 13.6 on my Steam box,
Yeah.
and Salvation ran without any issue for me aside from that dependency stuff. Which, by the way, Monster Cameron was libxaw and something else. I don't recall
in
what.
chat room, you're looking for that? It will be now included in the show notes, right?
It will. I will get those packages. And
So,
throw 'em
to
into the
summarize-
show notes.
Yeah, on my end, it caused me to realize that, AMD, at least on the 32-bit, I'm running Linux Mint 32-bit with the PAE kernel, and on my end, it did not run out of the box, but it was not the game's fault. So it gets 4 chairs all the same.
Well, screeching on over to our next category, we got shiny and sounds. But before we do
Indeed
that,
we do.
before you correct me, we got to total up this mixed with the working category, don't we?
Well,
Did
you know, that might sound like a brilliant idea.
It might, yeah, with 3 chairs, 4 chairs, and 4 chairs. Got to do that horrifically complex math. Beep boop, boop beep, 3 chairs.
Boom. Goes the Jordamite, as always. But up next,
But yes,
we have
shiny sounds.
Shiny and sounds. Does it get all blinky? And does it have fun with the ear pulses? Well, man, this game really... This is not what you're thinking. Shiny's fine. We'll get into that in just a minute. But my biggest issue with Salvation Prophecy is the sounds. But let's go ahead and talk about Morphine Girl, who is the one who says lovely things to you.
The
And
tutorial thingy.
She sounds like she's just a bit humming.
To be fair, that's how Ben sounds like every day but Saturday, so...
It's true stories. But in this case, for this game, with the sound, fortunately, you can, brilliant idea, cut it all the way down. And not the sound, just the voice.
Yep.
Love that. Made it infinitely more bearable. But we'll cut back to this. Best looking game I've seen in a long time, running on the Ogre engine. But then again, that is like claiming
Best looking game I've seen, actually, for a one-man job.
Yeah.
Though he did outsource the graphics.
Yeah, outsource the graphics. We'll get into all this fun stuff, but at the end of the day, that's kind of like saying well, Why'd you cut me off, J-Man?
Because it's fun to do that.
At the end of the day, it's best looking game on Ogre is kind of like being first place in the Special Olympics.
That's just wrong, man. Wrong.
Hey man, I actually know a Paralympic athlete. He's in better shape than I am. So.
And that's how we know better that one. But for Shiny and Sounds, all things considered, 3 chairs. Like it, as J-Man was saying earlier, one guy behind this team, but let's hear.
Honestly, yeah, I gotta share Ven's opinion with the sounds. They're a bit grating after hour number however many of hearing pew 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 pew. You kind of get sick of it, but you know what? It's shiny because it has MC Hammer walking robots, and they're good looking MC Hammer crab walking robots. So I'm gonna give this 3 chairs out of a possible 4.
Yeah, I'll tell him. Okay, so for me, it gets 3 chairs. 3 chairs because for a one-man project, it's surprisingly good. Unfortunately, I did just, get off the phone from 2007, and they want their graphics back.
I see what you did there. That was cute.
The textures are fine. I think our biggest issue is the ability of Ogre 3D for modeling.
Yeah, it's Ogre. It's
outdated.
It's a game that works for games like Running with Rifles and
that Sonic
yeah, that's
remake.
about it.
Yeah, no, didn't we have that Sonic remake a while ago that was built on Ogre?
No, that was Eduke.
Yeah,
oh, right,
that was Eduke.
Yeah.
So 3 chairs for you with the Shiny and Zones, huh?
3 chairs because Ogre, man, the sounds were okay. I guess I didn't really get annoyed with the sounds as much as you guys did, but the graphics, the textures look fine, but nope.
That's all your jokes off.
Oh boy,
yeah,
this is some math we got to do.
Can you pull this one off, Master Sveg? This is going to be difficult.
I don't know
Because you don't. It's going to be 3 damn chairs.
This is stretching the limits of my 3rd grade education.
Up next is Control. Now, for me, character movement with this game, in a third-person sense, brilliant, but I don't like the inspiration taken from Star Wars that lasers can't shoot straight at this time. Like, I would
What?
think.
They don't travel at the speed of light in a straight line?
Yep, they should. Just like, psst.
Nope.
But no, they shoot left, right, whatever. And if you zoom in better, they shoot straighter. Not a big fan of that. That
They're
Control
all stormtroopers in
was
disguise.
it was tight. The only issue I had with the controls was the ship movement, because that was fluid, and not necessarily in the way I would like, but can't really hate on it. 3 chairs on that Master Sveg.
I gotta agree with Vet on this. There's really nothing you can dislike about the controls. They work for what the game is. I'm always garbage at those ship-based sequences in Battlefront, so I just assumed that lack of skill would translate over to this game, and it kind of did. So, but for their ground missions, and for just the shooting in general, I'd give it 3 chairs just because they're reasonable controls. Nothing groundbreaking, but nothing horrible.
And the man who hates everything.
The P-Man who hates everything.
I don't hate everything, but
We're calling him a
apparently I don't
P-Woman.
hate everything. Come on. That's just not true. But on my end,
You just
I
hated
did
on
have
us for hating on that?
Yeah.
No. I'm a forgiving guy,
Yeah, you suppressed the rage for a moment.
No, you see, on my end, I did have one slightly big issue. Because to give you some sort of
Giggity.
context, both my screens have panels. The screen on my laptop has a panel on the left side, and this external monitor has a panel on the bottom.
I kind of want to pause you right now as me and Jordan revel in our panelless LCD displays. Aren't they so awesome in the future?
I know,
They
right?
just float, like right in front of us. But go ahead, Pedro.
But yeah, neither of you guys are using KDE, so this may be a slight incompatibility
For good
with KDE.
reason.
Yeah, KDE is awesome. So even
Tell
though I was
us,
playing
Pedro, how
full
is KDE
screen,
awesome?
even though I was playing full screen, and the panels being in a certain part of the screen should not influence the way the game registers my mouse movements. It shouldn't, because in this game, when I played it full screen on my laptop screen, if I moved the mouse to the left, which is where my panel is, it would stop at a certain point instead of keep going the way it should. It would just stop there, and I couldn't move beyond it. So I decided to test, and I moved the game to the other screen, and I tried to look down. Guess what? Instead of stopping only when you're looking at your feet, it stopped like halfway there. So it was a big issue for me, so it gets 2 chairs.
And that's
Because-
2 chairs with...
Okay, like I said, it may be a KDE compatibility issue, but
But again, that's why we have our systems kind of spread out amongst the variety that is the Linux ecosystem.
As controls beep boop that business for us.
Oh yeah. Beep boop,
Yeah.
beep boop two.
Giggity. Bow wow. Wow.
Bow.
2 chairs.
2 chairs.
Sweet loving.
And finally,
Lovely.
now we got our final subjective, redundant category of fun.
Get the fun.
Is it fun, Ven?
Then again,
Get the fun.
love the developer. I love the struggle that he went through, and I love the budget that he built this epic space quest on. I mean, just look at the video that we played over and over and over again.
And over and over and over again.
Yeah, it's brilliant. But I'll just get that started. I like the third person bit, the shipment, but it is stupidly repetitive. It's like, oh, go on mission, get coin, upgrade. Go on mission, get coin, upgrade. I mean, that is kind of the cycle of the entire game. That said, something I thought that was just a bit brilliant is you don't have to play this, because you'll never play this on like an epic level. You're not going to spend 10 hours with this game. But it's designed in a way to where you can spend 15, 20 minutes at a time with it. That's why it does not get 1, but it does get 2 chairs. For fun. Massive thing.
For fun. Well, you know what? When I said at the beginning of the review that it reminded me of Battlefront, really, this is what it reminds me of. A less fun Battlefront. It's pretty repetitive. There's not much variety aside from going out getting new weapons, and even then, the new weapons really don't add all that much. I mean, it's playable. It's not like getting teeth pulled. So I'll give it 2 chairs.
That's a double deuce.
The double deuce.
Giggity. Screw with the metric.
No. I've already screwed with the metric on this one, so...
What?
I'm
You monster.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you guys on this last category. Like Ven said, it's very, 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 very repetitious, and it gets to that point very, very, very fast. Very, 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 very fast. So, the only real reason that I didn't nope out of the game right then and there is because of, the space combat and all of that. It actually helps keep the repetition down to a minimum. if it wasn't for that, if it was just go to a planet, shoot at things until they disappeared. But yeah, it does have the space combat to, mix things around a little. So it gets the 2 from me.
2 chairs.
2 chairs.
2 lawn chairs. Boopy doo.
Triple double deuce.
Oh,
yeah.
So to total that up, 2 chairs
You gotta
total.
give it the vengeance,
Beep,
the
boop.
verdict. Boop,
Beep boop.
Now this is from, in all fairness, makes
One
for the working,
guy.
shiny and sounds, controls, and fun on 3 different distributions. 3 different personalities.
3 different kinds of hardware.
And a
Yeah.
Canadian. Buddy.
And a Canadian. And a German. And a Portuguese guy.
Come on, guy. Give us the
Guy,
chairs.
buddy.
I'm not the
Well,
buddy guy.
buddy,
Hey, buddy.
I'll give you the final, eh?
Gi-
I'll give it 2 chairs, eh?
You're gonna give it 2 chairs, guy.
I'll give it 2
2 chairs.
chairs.
That's only 2
Yeah,
chairs,
So
buddy.
this means it's a not sure if wants. Now keep in mind, this is a game written by one guy. He did it over the course of like a year. He took off from work, got himself like a stupid amount of money in debt, and
Yeah.
pumped out this game.
And
And it
if
runs on
you-
Linux.
If you go back and look at previous, reviews from Linux Gamecast, you'll see that games that had entire team had a lower score than this one.
Yes.
That's a
So
win right
this,
there.
this is not sure if want. This is not by any means a bad game, but you might
needs
want to try.
work.
It needs work.
It needs work.
There isn't
there,
really a
but
demo, so you can't try before you buy, and it's $20, so it's a bit
It's
pricey.
$20 is also available on Greenlight, but definitely check out our show notes. You get all the links and the fun bits and that, and let the developer know. I'm sure things can change.